Welcome back, and today we're talking about Re-Zero, episode 45. In this episode, we got a lot of information. I love episodes of Re-Zero where we get information about the character's motivation. And this episode, I feel like we learn a lot about Roswaal. I believe in season 1, it was stated that Roswaal wanted to, he wanted to get revenge. He wanted to kill a dragon. That's what he said in season 1. And you know, up until this point, we never kind of questioned that. And now everything, all the information that we learned, everything was revealed. To me, I feel like Roswaal wants to free Echina from the sanctuary because we essentially got the whole story about them. You know, they were in love, or at the very least, Roswaal was in love with Echina. I don't know if she was in love with him because we know that Echina, you know, she loves to use people. So I don't think she was in love with him. She was just interested in his magic. She did say he had talent. So I don't think she was in love with him, but you never know, right? You never know. She might be in love with Roswaal, and Roswaal is trying to do whatever it takes to get her out of the sanctuary, or at the very least, find a way to get her soul back into like the living realm, right? Because we do know that Echina is dead. Now, before we talk about everything that happened in this episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out. But let's talk about Re-Zero. I will say the first half, it was very interesting because we got to see essentially how Roswaal and Echina met, how the sanctuary got started. Heck, we even got to see Beatrice and the way she came up with the magic that she uses at the mansion, right? With every door, every time you open it, it's a different room, and all of a sudden you can meet Beatrice in there. You know, it came because of Roswaal. He's the one that came up with the little magic system. So, you know, that was awesome. It's kind of putting those characters together, seeing the connection that they had. Because honestly, looking at all these different characters, Echina, Roswaal, Beatrice, Ryuzu, they were all living together like a family almost, right? It kind of seems out of character at the very least for Echina. So I definitely want to know more about her because it feels like at the very least in this time, she was kind of happy. They didn't show her face in the flashback. I'm wondering why they did that because we never really got to see her face 100%. It was always kind of hidden. I don't know if that's some type of symbolic meaning to say that, you know, Roswaal was just blind to how Echina felt about him because we know he was in love with her 100%, but we never got to see Echina kind of show those same feelings back to him, and it could just be that Roswaal was blind and he did not see that Echina was essentially just using him to build the sanctuary. We learned why the sanctuary was built. Heck, we even learned how Ryuzu got inside of that crystal. She became the core to the sanctuary and she volunteered for it. She wasn't forced into this. Now, of course, even though she volunteered for it, I'm still going to question Echina's actions, right? Because at the end, they were being hunted by a character named Hector. I don't know if it was referenced before or if this is the first time that we see him, but I do want to talk about the little aura that he had because it looked almost the same aura that Satella was showing whenever she showed up to the sanctuary. I mean, early on in season 2. So maybe that's a connection there where essentially Satella was sending Hector after them and they were trying to find a safe place to be in, and the sanctuary was the only solution that Echina could come up with. So we learned how the sanctuary got started. And now the one thing about this episode that I was kind of disappointed in was the whole goodbye between Ryuzu and Beatrice. I love Beatrice as a character, but one, we haven't seen her in a long time. And, you know, she's still at the mansion. Potentially, she's in a very dangerous situation because those assassins are still going to go over there. But Ryuzu, we just met her, I mean, a couple episodes ago, really, we found out about her. And the whole goodbye, I feel like it dragged on for a little too long. I really wanted to know what was going on between Hector and Roswaal because Roswaal was getting, you know, he was getting beat up bad. I'm surprised he was able to get out of there alive. But the fact that Hector was able to fight Roswaal and Echina, that dude is definitely powerful. And I can see why they were trying to build the sanctuary and run away. Now, I also want to focus on Roswaal because I believe those events that we saw, that was 400 years ago. So how is Roswaal still alive in today's age? I mean, there's definitely some type of magic there. Maybe Echina showed him some OP magic that would let him live forever. Hopefully they explain how he did that. And the other thing I definitely want to talk about is In season 1, I believe Roswaal said that, you know, he wanted to get revenge on a dragon. That's why he was helping Emilia out. But I feel like after this episode that maybe he does want to get revenge on a dragon. I mean, I don't even remember the dragon's name, but I honestly feel like after this episode that his true goal is to free Echina from the sanctuary, because we know her soul is in there. We know Satella, she was, you know, responsible for killing Echina and, you know, many other witches. But her soul is still in the sanctuary. So honestly, I feel like Echina set all of this up. She used Roswaal for her own ambitions to create a place, the sanctuary, in order to have a safe place for her soul so she can come back into the living realm, you know, you could say. So she can come back and, you know, be alive again. I feel like that's the only reason why she was speaking to Roswaal, helping him out, teaching him magic. She saw potential in him. And I feel like Echina would not just care about somebody because she cares about somebody. I feel like she was just using him 100%, and that's why we never got to see her face in this flashback, right? Because we're seeing it from Roswaal's perspective, and he was blind to how Echina was essentially just using him for her own ambitions. Overall, this episode was really good, aside from the little goodbye between Beatrice and Ryusu. I know Subaru, he wants Roswaal to call back the assassins, but he's not gonna stop, right? This man has been on a mission for 400 years. I don't think Subaru is going to be able to change his mind that easy. And honestly, I don't even think Subaru will be able to change his mind, period. We might actually see Roswaal die or something along those lines. Who knows at this point? But one thing is for sure, Roswaal will be willing to do whatever it takes to save Echina, or at the very least bring her back to life. Maybe that's what's going to happen. He's going to sacrifice himself in order to bring Echina back. And I'm wondering if everything is going to go down once Emilia clears all the trials. Like, I wonder if that's the thing why Echina is kind of helping out a little bit. She's kind of there for like support, because once all the 3 trials are cleared, the barrier will be brought down, and maybe that's all she needs. That's like the key in order for her soul to be free and kind of come back into the realm of the living. Who knows what's going to happen? But this episode, I'm glad we got answers. Hopefully they keep the information coming in the next couple of episodes. We still have the whole mansion situation, so I don't even know how Subaru is going to deal with all of that. It seems like he got the sanctuary under control, but who knows after that, right? Who knows what's going to happen in the mansion, how he's going to rescue Beatrice and all the people that he likes over there. But let me know in the comments, what was your favorite part of this episode? And like always, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.